Hi everyone, Rad Drew here. Boy, it's great to be back doing another video on the iPhone. Today I want to talk a little bit about the native camera and the portrait mode and how it works in conjunction with our two lens phones from the iPhone 7 Plus, 8 Plus, and iPhone X. The two lenses allow us to do some great things with depth of field, where we can have a focal point and then things softer and blurred before and after that focal point. To demonstrate this, I'm going to go ahead and open up my native camera, which you see up in the upper left of my screen. I'm going to tap on that, and you'll notice that I'm sitting here in my car. I was intending to do this outdoors and I got rained out. So I'm sitting in my car and I have stuck a little label here in my iPhone holder. It's a little margarita label from something, I don't know. But that's going to be our subject today. And you notice I've selected the portrait mode. You can slide across. You recognize all these other modes down here. But the portrait camera is the one we're going to use right now. And you notice as I move the phone back from the subject, you can see that the natural light button has appeared in yellow, which tells us that this is active. Now, if we were taking a photograph of a face, it would recognize that face and it would focus immediately on the face. In this case, we have a different subject here. So this could be a flower, this could be some other item that you're photographing that you're trying to focus on. So in that case, I'm going to tap on the screen to set my focal point. Now I can also slide up and down and adjust my lighting if I wish, but I'm going to just go ahead right there. Now you notice if I go too close, that yellow light goes off and it tells me up at the top, move farther away. So now I'm going to move back. I feel like a trombone player here. I'm kind of sliding back, and then when I get that right in that sweet spot, there is my my focal range. Now what we're going to see is pretty much it's what you see is what you get. The little margarita label is in focus while the background is all soft and blurred. I'm going to go ahead and tap the shutter button, holding a very still, just like everything. You don't need a tripod for this, so I'm going to go ahead and tap portrait, or tap the shutter button to take the portrait. So let's go to the camera roll and take a look at the image. So there's our image in the camera roll, and when I look at it in the camera roll, you notice up in the upper left hand corner it tells me that it was taken with the portrait camera. It says portrait at the top. Now if I choose edit, I can choose edit here, and there is our image. So you can see it's nice and beautifully focused on our little Margaritaville label, and our background is all soft and blurred. Let's go back a second to the camera again. One of the things that I wanted to show you here, again, I'm going to position myself at the right distance, and you'll notice at the bottom where it says natural light, if I take my finger and slide across, I can choose studio lighting, which you can, let's go back to natural light. There's studio lighting, a little brighter. There's contour lighting, which shifts that light just a little bit. And then the two that I really enjoy here are stage light in color and stage light in black and white, or mono. I'm going to go back and take this photo again in natural light. And again, I'll just tap on the subject. Again, if this was a face, it would be focusing right there. I'll go ahead and tap the shutter button. And now let's go out and look at our image. And there it is. So this image that we shot, it tells us again that it's in the portrait mode. And if I tap on the edit button up in the upper right, this is where things get really cool. You'll notice when I tap on edit, the portrait button comes on at the top in yellow, and down at the bottom you can see I have those same light options. Even though I've already taken the photograph with natural light, I can slide across to any of these other options and have the image change to that. Look at this. Here's stage light. So notice how in stage light it blacks the background out and gives you your subject kind of spotlighted like a stage light would do it. You can slide over one more and do the same thing in mono. This is such a fun feature. It's really fun with portraits, or lots of other things that you want to isolate. I'll show you some examples here in a minute of some other shots that I've done with it. Once you've made your selection, your lighting selection, whatever it may be, you just hit done, and it saves that version of the image to your camera roll. Now you can continue to open it again, and you can either revert it to what it was, or you can choose another light mode, and done, and it saves it each time. It's the same image, just being saved in different forms. That's essentially it. I just love working with this camera app. And go back and take a look again. One of the things that I find a little frustrating with it sometimes, you notice how if you get too close, it'll tell you to move further away, and then you get back, and sometimes it's temperamental, and you'll feel like a trombone player sliding back and forth to find that sweet spot. One other thing that I'd mention about this, if you think you might want to use the stage light mode, I would encourage you to take the photograph with the stage light mode set. The reason for that is when you have this set, you can decide where you want the emphasis of that stage light to be. Now you notice how it just popped out of, it's no longer active. Sometimes it's very temperamental in the stage light mode. But what I like about this is I can position exactly where I want that to be and take the photo. Now if I were to take the photo like this, I can do that, and then I can switch it in editing mode to stage light, but I may not have the positioning of the light where I want it. So let's just go look at that. Here's the light, the way I was able to choose where I wanted the stage lighting to be, and I like that result better than if I were to go to this other image. Let's see, I'm going to go to the camera roll to do the editing. If I were to go to this image and choose the stage lighting, well, that's not bad, but sometimes that circle of light is not where you want it to be. Unfortunately, we can't move that lighting after the photograph is taken. But anyway, that's everything I had today. It's just a short and sweet little video on using this. I hope you have fun with it. If you don't have a dual lens camera, do think about when you upgrade your phone, definitely go for one of the dual lenses. They're just so much fun, and give you so many different opportunities for creating some great images. Thanks a lot, and until next time, keep on shooting. Hi everyone, Brad here again. Hey, the rain stopped, so I wanted to come back out and continue this little video here on using the portrait mode with the dual lens camera. I'm going to go ahead and reselect the little icon up in the upper left for the native camera, and you can see I'm out here on a rainy day. I'm standing in the Irvington Park, and I have found a portrait subject who has been agreed to work with me here, and I assure you he is going to be extremely patient. This is Washington Irving, for whom our little community was named. Let you a little historical information here about the area. It's a beautiful neighborhood here in just outside of Indianapolis. So to continue what we were talking about before, I am in the portrait mode of the native camera, and you notice how we are set to natural light. And again, I could choose different lighting modes down here if I wish. I'm going to start with natural light, and just again, you see how because this is a face, do you see the box around the face? It's recognizing, the system is recognizing the face and focusing on it. And again, this is a WYSIWYG system. It's what you see is what you get. The face is in focus, and the background is all very soft and blurry. If I go too close, it shuts off and tells me to move back. So as I move back, there's the sweet spot. You can kind of play with this and find the sweet spot that works for you. So I'm kind of looking at the background. I'm kind of trying to find, maybe block some of the bright spots with the head. And I can go ahead and tap on that face just to really lock in on that. I'm going to tap the shutter button. And now let's go take a quick look at the image in the camera roll. So here's our image now. You can see that the face is just tack sharp, and the background is nice and soft and blurred. It's a wonderful way to do a portrait. Now we're in the camera roll, And again, if I choose the edit mode, I can come down below and it shows me that I'm in a portrait. I can choose any one of these other lighting options that might suit the image better. Now, the ones, let's take a look at the, this is the stage lighting mode. I just think that's fantastic. And you can do this with, with your own portraits of people. You can do it with flowers or other things that you want to isolate. Here's the black and white mode of that. So you can see it's just a really fun way of doing that. And again, the cool thing is you can take it in whatever mode and then change it after the fact. So I'll go ahead and let's switch that over to that black and white. That's just so cool. And I'm going to say done. And there we are. And again, if you look in your camera roll, it doesn't save multiple images. It just keeps changing that same image to whatever lighting mode you choose. All right, everyone. Well, that's all. I just wanted to add that little bit to our video. And again, hope you find this useful. Have a great time shooting, and see you next time. I'm just going to leave you with a few images that I created with the iPhone 7 Plus or the iPhone X using these techniques that we've just looked at. Thanks a lot.